Sure.
Because there are some EIA under Jadual 1 that is not publicized that
Yeah.
we can access to.
Yeah.
In your plan, is it including the EIA that can be publicized, no matter the size or scope of it?
Yeah, so that will be something that I can't commit to anything specifically, but I'm looking at the whole environmental reporting as a whole to see what can be done to be improved lah in terms of transparency.
One more question about enforcement, because we saw some reports about we saw many brilliant EIA being written, but they are hard to monitor and enforce because we know there are lack of manpower in the ministry. So moving forward, do you have any plans to improve this?
Well, if one of the, I know you're talking about EIA, right? But one of the things when you look at conservation, for example, are the rangers. And one of the new things that the government did was to recruit military veterans to become rangers on a contract basis. So I think we have to be creative about that. And I think, obviously when you talk about pejawatan, to give permanent positions with the government, fiscal condition, blah, 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 that becomes a challenge. But if we look at, if we can talk about, I think other countries have done it before. You know that there's a lot of youth unemployment. We know that there's a lot of military veterans. They always complain they leave the service at 40, still able-bodied. They're experienced in the jungle and whatnot. So I think we have to look at those things to add up the numbers of enforcement. So it cannot be, I'm practical enough to know that to go to the treasury and ask for permanent positions with pension and all that, that will be a long time. But if we can come up with creative solutions like that for enforcement and whatnot, I think then it's more doable and something that I will look into, because I think it cuts both ways. We we have a lot of graduates who do not have jobs, and we need more enforcement officers.
You are referring to illegal deforestation?
Yeah, I was talking about the rangers, but even when you talk about EIA enforcement and all that, I think that will be things that we can add up the numbers but it has to be like a special program. To just grow it organically, it will. I'm realistic enough to know that it'll probably be a bit challenging, because if it's contract, then you time it, right? There's no pension, the cost is much more controlled.
One example is the Balang flood. We know that there's a plantation there. It can pass of the EIA, but afterwards it didn't comply to the requirement.
Yeah.
They didn't replant the trees of that.
Correct.
Because the reason may be because there are too much projects,
and
the ministry might not be able to monitor all of that.
Yeah.
So this is a difficulty that hiring rangers might not can solve.
Yeah. So it's not just rangers. So it has to be like other, maybe technical officers, right? At the EIA and all that. But what I'm saying is that we can complement permanent staffing with contract staffing, so that later on when the government has funding and whatnot, then maybe it can be permanent lah. But yeah, that is the challenge. You have all the laws and you do the reports and what, but the enforcement is a major challenge that we have in Malaysia. In fact, a lot of our laws are world class. The enforcement part is the.